I think nature is the handprint of what all that God has created. What I see is God puts all this in front of me and I just copy it. I just look at it and I think, I wonder how I paint that. We're in a show in LA with a lot of prominent New York artists, and I really didn't like LA. And I said, this isn't, living here would not be what I would like. There's no mountains, no trees. I said, we're done here. I'm going to go back to Spokane. You can't go anywhere where there isn't something to paint. And that's kind of the joy where a lot of painters don't know what they want to paint. And here you have, everywhere you look, there's something to paint for me, in my heart. My wife and my daughters love to travel. What I find is that they're always saying I could paint, but when you're a tourist, a lot of times you don't really take the time to see. Now with iPhones, when she's traveling, she can show me Monet, she can show me Van Gogh's, she show me pictures of her standing in line for 3 hours to get into the Louvre, and then you go, I like it right here. There's so many birds and so much, you hear the wind, and that's why I like to be outside. Don't worry about the details. In fact, my premise is, why really mess up a really good design with a lot of detail where you can't see it?
And sometimes the brush itself will make a stroke that you could never do it with like 100 other strokes.
Now as I'm looking at these leaves and I think, how do I paint that? And so that presents a problem for me to solve. And that's a real minor problem. A lot of people have big problems, and I'm trying to figure out how to paint. And I see these blues and I see these greens and then I see these yellows and I say, oh, I know how to make that color. I know how to make that color. The problems that I have are not really significant to the whole world. We can't solve all the world's problems, but I can just take care of my family and paint and love each day and love everybody that I come in contact with. This is really a joy that a lot of people in an office are not ever to spend your whole time in the office and not to feel the wind and hear what it's saying and what it's doing. Even when it's rainy and cold and miserable, it's still, you're doing what you chose to do every day, and it's your choice, and so you can only blame yourself. And a lot of times, though, when it's really miserable, I say, well, why are you doing this? And then I just tell myself, I love it. I just love doing this. That's why I paint outside. You can't explain this day being out here if you had to put it in words, but I put it in the image that I will remember the rest of my life. There will be faults, there will be things you leave in and things you overlook, but you just have to have that confidence with your skills and to keep practicing and keep learning. And all of a sudden you'll walk away and you say, yeah, I did really, really good today.